Hello again, I'm Anna Battle from Shining Happy Art. Thank you for joining me on another sketchbook tour. I hope these tours are giving you ideas about ways to sketch and subjects to sketch and evidence of the fact that you can fit it into your life. If you have the gear with you and you are prepared to just do it, just do it. People don't really speak to you negatively. It's amazing the number of people that for the first time when they sketch in the wild, they realise that people are more full of admiration rather than judgment when it comes to looking at their work. And if they keep it little, they don't even need to share it. Okay, most of the time anyway. So this is it's a different size sketchbook, and this is an A5 size. I'll talk about that when I go through the pages, but hopefully this sketchbook will give you an idea of experimenting with small subjects and big subjects and different supplies as we go through the pages. This is a more recent sketchbook, mainly from mid to late 2021, so not that long ago, but I do use a variety of supplies, and it's interesting. I hope it's interesting to you what is of interest enough to me to sketch. So without further ado, sketchbook tour number 3. So this is another Etchr sketchbook. It starts with a white cover and then I use up my acrylic paint by painting them. So this is what I've managed to do on this cover, lots of flowers. So yes, I just like the way they all look different on my shelf. So this is an A5 size Etchr sketchbook. So once again, I'm not great at chronological order, so we might jump backwards and forwards in time a little bit. This was a memory of having coffee with some friends, coffee and a few other things, obviously. I'm just trying to make sure my microphone is out of the way. All right, so I like the way this has all been chopped off at the bottom, but obviously I started with this flower and things got a bit out of control, but just goes to show you don't have to worry too much about whether it fits on the page when it's in a sketchbook. This was super fun, just picking out the colours for the water in particular. So very happy with this one, and sitting on the beach with these two girlfriends. I love our bodies now. I really, really do. I think they're just wonderful. It was great to have this record of all of us on the beach together. This was another, I did this on a boat at sunset. We were on a sunset cruise and I had to do it really quickly, hence the amount of white space. But it was lovely to try and just capture those bold colours and then pop a person in at dodgy proportions, but worth a try. Okay. We had a few more friends join us, and of course, cool cabanas are all the rage. So it was wonderful to record us again, and I had the practice under my belt, of course, of getting some of these colours right. So it was terrific, and everyone was wearing togs with a bit of black in them. So it was as if we planned it, really. This was one of the luckiest days. We were actually having, I won't tell stories for every single page in the book, I promise, but we were actually having a late lunch and on a Thursday at about 2. And would you believe it? This wedding happened, and it was 2 brides and they were from Toowoomba. So it was pretty amazing to be able to witness this from our ringside seat at the surf club, and wonderful. I was going to sketch anyway, and I managed to wangle the opportunity to sketch a wedding. So how wonderful is that? All right. Now these are a bit more simple and just filling in some time at a cafe. And this was from traveling. So this was a very quick sketch at a winery when I was there with friends. This was on our travels. I can remember standing in the middle of the road and actually sketching this in about 8 minutes flat and getting some colour on really, really quickly. Just wanted to record a few things on our travels. This one, though, took a bit longer. This was in the middle of Mudgee, and luckily my lovely Paul was bringing me coffee and looking after me while I tried to get some proportions right. So it's good to have a bit of an experiment space in your sketchbook, some that take hardly any time at all, some that take a bit more time. I really like the mix, but I sort of got to this point of adding colour and lost interest, but I like this mix of sketching and colour. All right, this was a shadows study. I had this new paintbrush from the Mudgee art shop, and oh my goodness, if you get the opportunity to go to the art shop in Mudgee, please do. It's awesome. But the shadows this time of day were beautiful to record. Laundromat, we spent a little bit of time there, so it was worth a quick sketch, because what else are you doing while you're waiting at the laundromat? And then on our way back, we got to stop at a few more cafes. And look, it's a big part of our trip. This was on the trip as well. We stopped because there was this gorgeous coloured wall that was catching the light, and did a quick sketch of that too from the front seat of the car. This is copying a Picasso, so practicing for a class that I was doing. This is also back at the beach on another opportunity. What are we into now? November 2021, sitting upstairs at the surf club, and that's what we could see through the window. Once again, good to put a few little people in there so that you can get the proportions. And there was a lot going on that day. This same trip, this was a blue ink pen and adding a bit of water. But the key there is to do your sketch, add the water, and then when it dries, sketch over it again. And that's exactly what I did. All right. Some sketches of meals. Now, this one was actually sketched with biro, and I added watercolour to it. This one was sketched with pen. Lisa's Bunya Mountains. Lisa brought this with her to the Bunya Mountains, and I just wanted to record a beautiful charcuterie board. Okay, this is once again up in the Bunyas, trying to capture these birds after the markets. This was breakfast while we were up there, really worth. I just wanted to capture some of the memories. So once again, with colour, without colour, quicker, quick, super quick. That must have been a demonstration actually. So sketching supplies, a really, really quick one, coffee and cake. I remember I drew that with my Shiny Happy Art Club members that day. We were having a party because there was lots of brand new members. So that was a little celebration. This was demonstrating for another friend who was putting up some photos that were very heavy on the colour. So I don't know that I love them, but it was a really fun experiment with loading up the colour on your page as a watercolour page. And once again, just giving it a go. This was a long drive. So really this impression of through the window was just a general idea of what it looked like on our way to the coast. So I liked the idea of the colour through the window only, and including all the bits of the car as well. So I was sitting in the passenger seat, obviously, because then I was able to draw, and even including that side mirror there. It was really, really fun. I don't get car sick, luckily, so that happened. This was because we were on our way to a family Christmas do. This was a very quick view over the pool at my uncle's place, and then everyone who was there signed it very quickly for me. And I've never done that before with that side of the family, so it was really fun and lovely to have all their names there on the page. It really completes the memory, which was great. All right, 15th of December. Trying to remember I know that we've gone on it. Gee, we seem to spend a bit of, I do more sketching on the holidays, I guess. So this was holiday pool sort of scenes without drawing, just paint with drawing, and at night. So another bit of a test. Sketching with a group of, my sister and our kids that I wanted to remember there, at a breakfast that I wanted to remember. And this was actually Christmas dinner. We were travelling on Christmas 2 years ago, and the only place open was McDonald's in Tamworth. So we stopped there, and how could I not sketch, hey? But once again, you can see these thick, bold lines meant that it didn't take too long. Some more sketches on that trip to Tamworth. I was trying to figure out if I liked pen sketching, and I do like these different picturesque views. It was a bit of a plan for future paintings actually too, so happy to have done that. This was a memory of being with that family after Christmas, and Jack brought us all the coffee, and this was sort of just spread across the table, and there was a lot of frisbee playing happening on that holiday too. So there's a frisbee on the table, but you can see just by including these little shadows, it gives it such presence, and I really love a messy table. So very happy to have done that spread. This, I had some private time by myself on a riverbank at the same house where the coffee painting was done. So it was lovely to really, really look around me. I think it got a bit fussy there, but I remember that time so well, standing in the peacefulness. And I did stand up the whole time. I had my paints in my hand and sketched it. So it was lovely to have that time, just me and the view. Same place in Mudgee, different art supplies. So I'd obviously been to the art shop again and bought myself a black pen. So not totally waterproof by the looks of it, or I didn't give it time to cure, but this was looking back through the park. Different effect. If you like that effect, it's pen plus watercolour, not coloured pencil. This is coloured pencil. And this was a very quick sketch of the players at New Year's Eve that year. Very, very quick, because, you know, you've got things to do at a New Year's Eve party, but it's also pretty easy in a big group to take a little time with a small book like this and do a bit of a sketch. So I'm very happy that I did. This was visiting my friend Maria. I don't think this looks like her at all, but there are little bits of it. And she was doing a jigsaw that remind me of her, but that's why I put her name in there, and she would be totally fine with me just practicing on her as she was. So thank you very much for that, Maria. This was another little sketch session, trying to get figures and proportions right, really just playing once again with the same pen that I used on this page. I haven't got a date here, so it must have been around the same date as this one. I might have been looking through a book while she was looking at her jigsaw, and that's where I got these sketches from. And there you go. Once again, in the back of an Etchr sketchbook, they have these pockets. Oh, look, there you go. There's from the Sunshine Beach Surf Club. That's where I saw the wedding, and a business card. Always have them with me as well. So there you go. Another sketchbook all wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed that little tour through this sketchbook of mine. Look, I do have a whole shelf of them, and look, I'll drip feed them out and share them as we go. But hopefully you are getting some ideas and some inspiration, and maybe you want to come along with me on the ride. You know that I do offer a lot of sketching workshops and painting workshops on my online and online classes on my website. So please do check it out over there. Shiny Happy Drawing is a really good one if you want to get into the drawing habit and you'd like to learn to draw. I'm starting, and I don't know, depending on when you're watching this, a brand new workshop called #ShinyHappy21 is starting on the 1st of April 2023. So if you are interested in joining me for that, it's very affordable, really great way of finishing a sketchbook. Maybe not one quite as big as this, but baby steps, hey? I'm very happy to help people through this wonderful hobby, and there's so many reasons, so many wonderful reasons that you might want to sketch. Yeah, people share them with me all the time, and maybe one day you might too. All right. Thanks for sharing number 3 with me. I'll see you soon.